Shalom.
Right? Shalom. Let's start off by giving all praises and glory to
Hawa, Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Rakakwadash.
When I say double honors to the apostles of great ministry that surely rule well, and salutation to the brother to the four corners of the earth that pushing this work in sincerity and in truth.
Khan.
Is that part of the Trinidad camp? Come to do another edification, you know, through the Spirit.
Khan.
Well, today's lesson basically is touching on the black woman. You know, black woman has lost her way. Because when they read in the book of Genesis, she made a pact with the so-called serpent, who's the white man today.
Khan.
You know, she made a pact with that devil.
Yeah, pact, yeah.
You know? So basically she under the, that's why they get this, that what the so-called devil give her actually is feminism, or is that another word for it? But basically feminism.
Khan.
Right? Give them that where they could basically, like, you know, go above a man. You know? But that's not what the most I had for them, you know, when they read the scripture in Genesis chapter 3, say a woman place is basically under she husband, she desire must be under she husband, and he must rule over she.
That's right.
But today, these women ruling men. You know, the scripture said in Isaiah, it's Jeremiah 33, a woman should come past a man.
31,
That was
22.
all the curses.
Yeah.
And basically, in the scriptures too, it was a shame for a woman to rule over a man.
Khan.
Even in coming out from Israelite cultures, but in different cultures, you know that even in the Hindu, in Elam and them, they make it mandatory that a woman not supposed to rule a man. You know, even Jack Warner brought out that when there was in the last when Kamala, when the female president was ruling in Trinidad here, Jack Warner brought out that, and he said it was a cabal they had because the woman wasn't actually ruling. The men around, she was basically pulling the shots.
31.
She's a Hindu, and them is Hindu, she had to follow according to the religion. You know?
31, 22.
Jeremiah 31 verse 22. How long will thou go about, O thou backsliding daughter? For the Lord hath created a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass a man.
Yeah, that's a lot.
So, you know, when they put the woman to compass the men, if complete this order they're going to have. But because women don't rule they rule with emotion.
God.
So when the Lord said that, read that again.
Jeremiah 31 verse 22. How long will thou go about, O thou backsliding daughter?
Right, the Lord asked him, how long will you go about? He said, Lord, scripture says the Lord has created a new thing. There's a new thing on the earth for a woman to compass a man. Right? That is nothing ancient, it's a new thing. Right?
If I could just say, too, that to add to what you're saying, the event in Esther with Vashti, when Vashti talked over the king,
Khan.
right? And that was in a Elamite. I think it was Elam was.
Khan. Like Elam, Medes and Persians.
Hey, that was bring a council and say, hey, that will look bad, and that will make it. You will make it all men will actually fall under that same disorder you.
Right.
So you have to put on your foot. You know?
So out of the decree.
Set out that decree.
All
Get rid of
men.
that bitch. That's something.
Yeah, something here. This is in the book of Sirach 25.
Shalom, shalom.
It says, the book of Sirach 25 and 19, it says, all wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman. Let the portion of a sinner fall upon her.
Hey, there.
So guess what? When they put the woman to rule over, that is actually wickedness. The Most High did that to the men, right? And says a new thing on the earth. It's actually a shame,
Okay.
you know?
This our scripture here.
Yeah.
I'll start at verse, this is Proverbs verse chapter 23, starting at verse 27. He punches in 28. It says, "For a whore is a deep ditch, and a strange woman is a narrow pit. She also lieth in wait as for a prey, and increaseth the transgressions among men." Yeah, so there's increased transgression among men. You know? Because what does do, they say they're not a man and all these different sort of things. So you have to be very careful when they're dealing with these women and them. You know, the scripture says that make many go astray.
Let's check it out. Of course, it's just. Is it just?
So, men has gone out of the wits.
This is just 4.
Yeah, something.
Yeah, come. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 26. I'm reading down. He said, "I find more better than death. The
Bitter.
woman,
Bitter.
Salakia, I found more better than death, the woman whose heart is snares and nets, and her hands as bands. Whosoever pleaseth Yahweh shall escape from her, but the sinner shall be taken by her. Behold, this have I found, said the preacher, counting one by one, to find out the account, which yet my soul seeketh, but I find not. One man among 1,000 have I found, but a woman among all these have I not found."
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a needed for women to go off. You know? So, you basically say it's not no righteous woman.
That's something like it. Right? Alright, this is in the book of Ecclesiastes, verse 25. Reading from 13, it says, "Give me any plague but the plague of the heart, and any wickedness."
And the scripture call it a plague. It say it could be any plague. You know what this the ask for a plague instead of a wickedness of a woman? You know, what?
"Give me any plague but the plague of the heart, and any wickedness but the wickedness of a woman."
Give me them ICBM. I think ICBM that to listen to the woman. To listen to that mouth all day. You know what I mean?
Jumping down to verse 16, it says, "I had rather dwell with a lion and a dragon than to keep house with a wicked woman."
Yeah, because these women and them, what they do with a big mouth is actually get frustrated. Some men that actually pack up and leave for a peace of mind, you know, and have to build over their whole life.
For instance, like your holder, for him to really get a peace of mind, he had to send that bitch driving him up a wall. You know, all day you fighting with these other nations going out to war, and you know what I mean. Let's not come home to fight again. You know what I mean? Scripture say a woman's supposed to be a pillar of wrestling.
God.
And that is why basically you will see men rather go in a rum shop, you understand, than to go home.
It's terrible, 36.
Alright, this is Sirach 26 verse 1. It says, "Blessed is the man that have a virtuous wife, for the number of his days shall be doubled."
God, actually live longer.
Yeah.
He literally will live longer.
Because I watch a thing on the TV the other day, and what they was saying, stress is what does do most of the killing. You might have an ailment, but if you have an ailment and you add stress to it, Stress come like COVID-19. So if you have a woman who going stressing you, it will act upon one of your ailments, something of, you understand?
Something. I can already read Ecclesiastes 26.
Well.
Oh, let's read on 26. This is Sirach 26 verse 7. An evil wife is a yoke shaken to and fro. He that had hold of her is as though he held a scorpion.
Yeah, I just holding a scorpion is a dangerous thing. You know, you can lose your life. And women have been actually been the death of a lot of men. You know?
A woman's basically supposed to be under her father. And he's supposed to be watching over her. Right?
So Sirach 25 verse 24. Of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all died. No? And the brother now mentioned that a woman's supposed to be under her father until she be married. He said, give the water no passage, neither a wicked woman liberty. When you give these dragons and liberty, you know, there's go excessively overboard, beyond. You know? So
Just as I say, she's supposed to be under her father first. And scriptures also say the father has lost sleep if the daughter is actually basically like a harlot. If the daughter be in the harlot, playing the harlot, the father will lose sleep. You understand? Because he's supposed to be the one actually guiding she, watching over she. But there's built these systems, these schools and things actually for you to lose that control over them. For they take their time to go and do as they please.
That's what women liberation was really about. Women liberation is this. You allow the woman to run wild to get rid of the man, you know. To put the man out of the home. You hear out of the home. Once the scripture say, I think it is Sirach. So where there's no hedge, the possession is spoiled. Right? Yeah.
Well, right. I was just talking about this woman from on YouTube. I think she's only 19 years of age, a black woman. You know, she actually said that she was and she's doing these things on YouTube, and YouTube's supposed to be cutting certain videos they make if your words too.
Because if I may say, when we do videos, right, cutting is what the recorders want to cut with videos and take them down. But this woman doing all kind of nastiness on YouTube, talking all kind of shit, and then leaving that video up there for the younger ones to see.
She said she fought a month-old daughter had sex 5 times. Right?
Well, I said, you know, they wouldn't take down that video or they wouldn't find it offensive because why? The so-called white man looking at that and he would say, you know, he would say that look at Israel here, what's her name? You know what I mean? But if you put up something condemning, so he'll take it up and say it's offensive. But it's not offensive to put up a mad woman, you know what I mean, eating shit on the road.
You could plainly see like she had a hard childhood or something fucked up in she head or some sort of thing, but at the same time, if it is if you're using certain content on YouTube, they're supposed to pull along that. Why would you say you actually having a conversation with a man and telling him he could have sex with your 4-month-old child on a live stream?
That's unfair. This is Sirach 26 and verse 24. It says, 25, it says, a shameless woman shall be counted as a dog.
Yeah,
right there.
And basically she's shameless to do something like that.
Yeah, because that's your 4-month-old baby. You're supposed to be an example unto her. And this is where you make it about her from the beginning. You know, and the scripture said in Ezekiel 16:44, this is a proverb. You understand? So is the mother social with the daughter. And who knows, she probably was an evil woman. You understand? And now she come and inherit that genes. You know? Because she's an evil woman, because they do your child that. Because they're evil. And the scripture says know how to give good gifts. If you then being evil, you understand how to give good gifts. And she's an evil woman, and yesterday she's doing evil towards your child. In fact, but who knows what the child did, because the spirit reincarnated. You know? This is a quick step I have. This is Romans chapter 1, verse 30, and it reads, he said, backbiters, I read from verse 29, it said, being fulfilled with all unrighteousness, fornication, wickedness, covetousness, maliciousness, full of envy, murder, debate, deceit, malignity, whisperers, backbiters, haters of God, despitefully proud, boasters, inventors of evil things, disobedient to parents. You know, so to do a young child, that is a very evil thing. You know? And from my daughter Israel, from that perspective, most of them judge you terribly for that. You know, for all you poor women who, you know, lifting up all their heads and thinking you know, could rise above the kings of the earth. Be disrespectful to them. The Most High is about to judge you all. Anybody can do Isaiah 32 answer that. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is Lamentations, not verse 1. It says, how is the gold become dim? How is the most fine gold changed? The stones of the sanctuary are poured out in the top of on the top of every street. The precious sons of Zion, comparable to fine gold, how are they esteemed as earthen potters, pitchers, the work of the hand of the potter, right? Because hey, the city sons here, but the daughters of Zion actually shaming themselves. You know, when you look at the all of the scriptures saying with Isaiah 19 and 14, a perverse spirit. There's a perverse spirit you actually see when the daughters of Zion. Good.
This is Isaiah chapter 19 and verse 14. And it reads, for Yahweh Hashem Yahushai had mingled a perverse spirit in the midst therefore, and they have caused Egypt to err in every word thereof, as a drunken man staggereth in his vomit.
God. Hey, when you look at the video and the people who commented on the video, a lot of people commented on things and actually making videos to let you know she on shit now. And the majority of people doing that, actually the only people I see doing that is so-called white people. Right? They want to know them, want to know the dogs of the earth, want to know what's going on with this bitch.
So like I come and see, hey, anything Jake touch, they like to go to the extent day. You understand? So hey, she want to go to the best of the evilness now where but she come past the wicked right now. That's the level she reach.
Verse 3. It says, even the sea monster draw out their breasts. They give suck to their young ones. The daughters of my people is become cruel, like the ostrich in the wilderness. They become cruel. To have a conversation with a man who you want to have sex with your 4-year-old daughter, hey, that's beyond.
This is Isaiah 32 verse 9. It says, rise up, ye women that are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters. Give ear unto my speech. Many days and years ye shall be troubled, ye careless woman, for the vintage shall fail. Because, you know, the brother said that, oh, you know, if we had posed these kind of things on YouTube, they would have took it down. You know, when we, when we bring down Esau King, let us take down the videos. But the leaving she videos to be a product to the society. You understand? And she know as a YouTuber, she gain dollars for that.
She get big views for that.
One thing she say.
What they're doing now, they're actually endorsing
pedophiles.
pedophiles. Actually, there's a thing now. I mean, it was a thing because it had this association, the Man Boy Killer Association. But now they're endorsing it more. They put it out. They bring out this show. I forget the name of it was on Netflix with like 11.
Oh, the children dancing.
11-year-old girls too.
Can.
So that is what they're doing. The scriptures say it's a Holy Spirit.
They are actually normalizing it. They try to normalize it by pushing it upon the people gradually, and all of a sudden you see the societies that are accepted.
Gradualism.
You see? That's how they program the people through the what? Through the television and the programs and the movies and the TV.
That's why they call it a program.
That's why they call it a program.
Yes,
It's the program people.
I can't remember who the children that on the phone, but it was actually making sex dolls with children.
Yeah.
So
real soon you'll start to see they put it up on buses, they put a little posters, and then this, people will begin to see it and start to walk past it and they not notice it, but and then all of a sudden, bam, you just, hey, you're in it. It's because why? They really in, feed you a little bit until they get accustomed. You know what I mean?
I should just we have to walk with the counsel of the ungodly.
Ungodly.
Still from things scripture say why with that Exodus I follow don't follow multitude to do evil.
Yeah, that's a good spirit, man. Yeah,
Because I told you, but I was saying just a while ago, he said, the Holy Spirit and the buses and these stuff, when it was normalizing homosexuality, what it was doing, putting it on these rum bottles, these different places, putting it into the Netflix movies. Every series on Netflix have homosexuals in it.
Yeah.
From Gotham City to Black Panther, Black Lightning to Heist, to all these different series that have homosexuals in it.
Instead of put them on milk cartoons and all them kind of thing.
Even Sesame Street. But Bunyan Earth. Bunyan Earth is homosexuals. So since we are at a tender age, they've been feeding us with this wicked doctrine. But Tawara Yahweh Hashem
but
this is Psalms 82 and verse 5. It says they do not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness, all the foundations of the earth are out of course. To see all these things, we know the whole world out of course. The earth begging for cleansing right now.
to be put back in order.
And I was going to say before you said, I was going to say that basically evil so much on this earth right now that the Son of the Most High really need to come back here to set things right. Because if that didn't happen, right, this earth will become past with evil and wickedness, right?
So they say, there will be no more flesh with Esau. If Esau in charge, we will have no more flesh.
Scripture saying he destroyed both the wicked and the innocent. I always say, like Job 9 and 22 or 21 or something. So he destroyed both I think it's the innocent, if I remember clearly, and the wicked.
This is Job 9 and 22. It says, this is one thing, therefore I said it. He destroyed the perfect and the wicked.
Perfect and the wicked.
This is Matthew chapter 24 and verse 12. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. So she looking at she own flesh and blood that come out of Sheba, where you should do it for 9 months.
Deuteronomy 28 and 54.
I shall be good.
I shall be whether she be the chair she bosom. 54 I know it was 8.
But right.
Very close to it.
Right.
Deuteronomy 28 and 28. You know?
It's madness.
56.
56. Yeah.
This is Deuteronomy 28 and verse 56. It says, "The tender and delicate woman among you, which would not adventure to set the soles of her feet upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness, her eyes shall be evil towards her, the husband of her bosom, and towards her son, and towards her daughter." Towards, reading down verse 57, it says, "And towards the young one that cometh out from beneath her feet."
Right? Let's talk about offspring. Children. You have faith towards your own children.
Back in Lamentations, where you say even the sea must supple on the breast. Next verse say that they give them I would say like the tongue and the cleave to do for them out. For the one that having some for the one that for this.
Back in the wilderness precept there about Kosha. This is so like yeah, seeing that the woman and them so evil, you know, towards the own children and the bosom, you know, they walk on the way of Esau, because Esau is the vile one. You know, when you look at that creature today, that devil, you know, he does all these set of vile things, and he's the one who have the boy girl. How it goes? It's like one boy girl man association.
Man boys lovers association.
He's the one that went for that. He's the one that love to do pedophile stuff. You know, go after young children. This is Jude chapter 1 and verse 7. It says, "Even as Sodom and Gomorrah and the cities about them in like manner, giving themselves over to fornication." Right? And in fornication is sin that they commit with their flesh. According to 1 Corinthians chapter 3 verse 18, I think. But for sure, if anybody can read it. Yes, you will see about for sure. And we are not giving themselves over to fornication and going after strange flesh. Because you know, the young lady, the baby, matter of fact, she's not a young lady. You know, the 4-month-old baby, she in rigid time when she flower. According to the law, that is iniquity. You understand? The scripture in 1 Corinthians chapter 7 break that down. When she passed the age of she flower, if it desire it, then you know, the Lord tell her go and have it. So that is the level that these people reach at. Matthew chapter 24 verse 12. You know, for the love of many shall abound cold, that sin may abound more. You understand? So she had get so cold to what she shared about it out in Deuteronomy 20 verse 56 going on down. We know as set forth for an example. So this is the people that we know for a fact that Moses is going to put them to be burned. You understand? We go on and said, suffering the vengeance of eternal fire. Because why? They walk on in the way of Egypt. Because that is the kind of philosophy Egypt pushing for. Go ahead.
Is that like a quick thing before one day?
Yeah, go ahead.
This is Hebrews 12 and 16. It says, lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, right? And it shows you that these women basically following in the ways of Esau. You understand? To be wanting a man to be sexing your 2-year-old daughter. That is profane. You understand? This place really had to go because evil and more evil.
I guess it was something after the screen, right?
Yeah,
6, not 3. 6 and 18.
it's just to show that
Read something.
it's like,
This is Ezekiel chapter 9 verse 9. It says, Then said he unto me, the iniquity of the house of Israel and Judah is exceeding great, and the land is full of blood, and the city full of perverseness. For they say, Yahweh hath forsaken the earth, and Yahweh Hashem shall see it not. And as for me also, my eyes shall not spare, neither will I have pity, but I will recompense their way upon their head. So they say, full of perverseness, and that is perverseness. You understand? To prostitute your 4-year-old child, Hey, that is some.
Huh? That's
And even
something
though
shit.
you would, that is some heinous crime.
Heavy demons on that woman.
Yeah.
Hey, and next thing she was
Why the
doing.
scripture say put them in the balance? He said this is wickedness, this is a woman. Wine is wicked, king is wicked, woman is wicked. You know, they like to call, women like to call men dogs, but we call a female dog.
Bitch.
Exactly. That's what it is.
Hey, one thing she said again in the video is that she pussy smell like fish. And what she just do, she say when she go in her back shot, it'll stink up the place now. So she spray something. But she say even if she spray, they'll still get it, but it'll be a little more slight, but they'll still get the smell. And she laughing at this. She said what's so funny about it is not she alone smell it, he smelling it too. What the scripture saying in Isaiah 3 and we see we get them
Stinks.
not that sweet smell, but that stink smell. The wickedness of these women and them increasing. Right? Oh. Instead of sweet smell, stink.
Isaiah chapter 3 verse 24. And it shall come to pass that instead of sweet smell, there shall be stink, and instead of a girdle, a rent, and instead of well set hair, baldness, and instead of a stomach, a grating of sackcloth, and burning instead of beauty.
Yeah. You want to have a big down belly full of shit. You know, that. And most I put them places on the woman. But she proud. You know what I mean?
No,
She
ain't
pride. It's pride is, you know what I mean?
Glamorous, loud, knowing nothing.
Yeah. So, anything for you, you know, anything for you,
Anybody have anything then?
One last specific.
yeah.
This is Generation chapter 3 verse 16. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conceptions. Because of all the evilness, the Most High put his plague upon all them. Alongside all the menstruation, when all they going through that cycle, and let us get a lot of cramp in all the belly. Because that is a plague the Most High gave all them. Because all was wicked, and all still wicked. As his upon word is out. Wine is wicked, king is wicked, and woman is wicked. Do you understand? He said, he said, thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children. Because when a woman bring forth a child, you know sometimes you knock out on yourself.